guys, TX Sheepdog here. Today I'm going to give you a lesson on the law and some games that they play, as well as I'm going to give you guys a lesson on how to make a dirty martini. So first off, we're going to talk about the dirty martini. Now I'm going to talk about the ingredients, and they go as follows. You want to have a good vodka, a vodka that you like. Me preferably, I like Ciroc. It's wine based. But there's different kinds of vodkas. Some are wine, some are corn, so on and so on. So that just depends on your taste. Then you want to have a little bit of
Great face.
Hey guys, TX Sheepdog here. I'm going to give you guys a couple of lessons. One of the lessons is going to be on the law and how it plays out in court as it relates to discovery, and what you can have and what you can't have in discovery, and when you can have it and when you cannot have it. But first, we're gonna talk about dirty martini and how to make one of those. So let's talk about the ingredients on a dirty martini. You guys know that I really like my dirty martinis. So the first thing, the base ingredient, is vodka. And as far as what kind of vodka to use, it depends on your taste. This is Ciroc, and it's made out of grapes. But you have stuff that's made out of corn and so on and so on. So you want to just start off with a good vodka that you really like, and you get what you pay for with vodka. So the more you pay, the better you get. That's just my opinion. The next thing that you want, the second ingredient, which is important if you're going to have a dirty martini, is olive juice. Now I use 1888. It's the dirtiest martini mix, made out of Spanish olives. It's premium olive juice. Again, it's all about taste. Different olive juices taste differently, so you want to find one that you like, and you can do that by trial and error because everybody's taste palette is different. Next thing is you're going to have some vermouth. Now I use Martini and Rossi dry vermouth. I would recommend you get the dry one. There are some different types, and you go online and look up your martinis and figure out what's good for you. And last but not least, you're going to want some olives. Now olives, there's all kinds of varieties, and my taste changes from time to time, and so I switch what kind of olives I use. And this is not the same juice you're putting in the martini. These are just your olives. Now I use the blue cheese olives. I love blue cheese stuffed olives. They also have garlic stuffed olives. In fact, they have all kinds of stuffed olives. Again, it's about your taste. These are from Los Olivos. They're blue cheese olives, and I particularly like these because sometimes I use the ones that are in water. These are made with vinegar and water, and they just have a completely different taste, a completely different experience. I would say for the purpose of making a martini, stay away from olives that are in oil. You don't want the oil in there because there's ice in here and there's a little bit of water mixture, and the oil and the water just doesn't mix. We all know that. And so stay away from the oil olives, the olives that are in oil. You can get them when they're not made in vinegar, just regular water. You can get all kinds of stuffed ones, but that's really the olive part of it. We'll get into that in a minute, why you want olives. You can make one without olives if you're not into olives, that's fine. The thing that distinguishes this martini I'm making from a regular martini is that it's dirty. And by dirty, I mean you have the olive juice in it. And when you put the olive juice in it, that's what makes it dirty, if you will. So you can make you a regular martini, which is basically just vodka and a little bit of water from the ice, right? But what fun is that? Make it dirty. All right, so anyway, I take the olives out. You can put them on toothpicks if you want. I don't like to buy toothpicks. I try to make this as cheap as possible. And so I'll just take them out in a spoon and I put them in a little dish. As you guys can see, they are stuffed with blue cheese, and they are delicious. And in the dish, I can just rewash and use that again. On the bottles, I pour this constantly every day, and these little pour things, they run about $5, and when you pour the bottle, when you turn it upside down, it measures out exactly 1 ounce, which makes it very easy to measure. And speaking of that, let's go into the measurements. You're going to do 1 part vodka. Now, I do a 1 ounce. So 1 ounce, 1 part. And if you do a ½ an ounce, just remember it's 1 part vodka. So I'm going to do 1 ounce today. And sometimes these pours malfunction, so I'm going to pour it into the top of the cup that I use. Now the cup, I use a metal one, but they sell plastic ones as well. I just prefer the metal ones. And so you have the cup itself, and I've already put my ice in it. You have the strainer, which is basically the cap that goes on top, and it's the strainer. So once you put it on top, then you can pour it out through the strainer. And then you have the lid. The lid's important because the lid goes on top of the cup. That way you can shake it and no liquid comes out. Then you take it off and pour it. So what I do is I take my vodka and I pour exactly 1 ounce. And if you notice, it's going to stop automatically. That's 1 ounce. So I put 3 ounces of vodka. And boom, we're done. So I put 3 ounces of vodka. The next thing I'm going to do is put 1 part olive juice. So 1 part meaning if I put 1 ounce of vodka, although I put 3 ounces, if you use 3 ounces, then you use 1 ounce of this. If you use a ½ an ounce of vodka times 3, you use a ½ an ounce of this. Just 1 time. So 1 part olive juice. And then you want to do a splash of vermouth. Now, what is a splash? I've determined through my research that a splash is basically, on this bottle, just a small cup. It's a very, very small amount. You can put more or less in there depending on your taste. But it definitely tastes different whether you use a vermouth or not. I use a capful. Then, the most important part of making a dirty martini is the shake. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the cap, you're going to put it on there. Alright guys, sorry about that. Had to change my shirt, got the other one a little wet. I actually set this down and flipped it sideways when I was going to pick it up. So yeah, be careful when you're doing this. I had it down on the counter, and when I pushed the lid down, it went sideways. Just be careful of that. So anyway, you put the cap on and all that good stuff. Hold it all together, and then you give it a shake. The shake is important because part of this is mixing water with it. Now you don't want to put water in it because you're going to get water inherently from the ice itself, and you're going to do that in the process of shaking it. So what you want to do is you just use trial and error. You do enough of these, then you know exactly how much you need to shake it. But it's all in the shake. So just like YouTube videos are all about the clicks and views, dirty martinis are all about the shakes and spills. So here we go, guys. You want to shake it nice and hard. Nice and hard here. Some of you guys might be really good at this. Some of you might not. You might want to get your husband to do it, either with his right hand or his left hand, whichever one is stronger. And that's it. Set the cup down. It does get kind of cold. If you notice, there's some frost on there already. And that's another key part of making a great martini, is having it freezing cold. Now it's not going to freeze because it has alcohol in it, but nevertheless, there you go. You get you a nice martini glass. These run about $3 a piece. And you know, they're pretty cheap, or you can get the real expensive ones if you want. I just get the regular glass ones. It really doesn't make a difference on how it tastes, other than maybe how it feels. And some people feel good having expensive stuff, and it is an experience. So anyway, and then you just pour it right on in. Now if you do like I do and you use 1 ounce to start with, you're going to get a full glass if you buy the right glass. So that's another thing to consider. These glasses come in different sizes. So if you're going to do like 3 ounces, like 1 ounce and then a ½ an ounce or whatever, what you want to do is I'm gonna use my GED skills here. If you got 3 ounces of vodka and you got 1 ounce of olive juice, and then you got a cap full of vermouth, Well, that's just a lot. So you just want to get a lot, a glass that holds a lot. If you guys can figure out how much that is, then get in the comments and let folks know how much of how big of a glass they need to get. Anyway, you guys understand what I'm saying. That's too much for me to figure out. Anyway, I just got a GED. You guys know that. So now I have my glass, got my olives, and now we're going to talk about the law. So today I met with my attorney from the Almost Park situation, and this is what went down. We had a brainstorming session, and I finally was able to view the police report. Did you guys know that there is a thing called discovery? And discovery is when, talking about in the criminal case context, discovery is when you, as a defendant, request certain evidence from the prosecutor, the other side. And the way you get that is through proper channels, filing proper motions, following certain rules, which compels or makes the other side have to give you that information. And that's called discovery. The process of you requesting it, the process of them giving it to you, the rules and such that go along with that. Now, if you are pro se, meaning that you are representing yourself without an attorney, which I highly recommend you not do, because it's their game and they know all the rules and you don't. It's like playing Monopoly with somebody who knows all the rules and you don't. They're the bank, right? And we know what happens when somebody's the bank, they cheat. Yeah, so get an attorney. But anyway, so yeah, if you do it pro se, did you know that you can see the information, but you can't put it in your hands? That's right. You can see it, you can read it, but you can't put it in your hands. So for example, the police report, you can read it, you can view it, but you can't walk out the room with it. So you can't go home and prepare your defense. You can't go home and read the report and dissect it. You have to do that while you're sitting there in front of the prosecutor. Also, the prosecutor is not going to leave and let you just have it while you're there at the courthouse. They have to sit there. So they sit there and then they put pressure on you to hurry up. Yeah, those are the special rules that apply to you as a pro se defendant. Now, if you're like me, I'm a jackass, so I'll sit there all day if I need to, if that's what I need to prepare a proper defense if I'm representing myself. The prosecutors don't like it. But they're not, but they're going to rush you and they're going to pressure you, which they don't do with your defense attorney. So it's kind of unfair. But that is the law, that is the rules, and that's what you can expect if you decide to do it yourself. Now, they will give it to your attorney, but your attorney is not allowed to give it to you. So your option is the same. You can go to your attorney and you can view the discovery, the evidence, you can view it, but you can't have it in your hands. You can't take it with you. You can't take it home and do your homework. You have to do that in their office, and you got to leave when they close, unless you got a great attorney like I do, and we can stay there all night if we have to. So anyway, that is the way it is. So I have not been able to get the Almost Park police report. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, just file a public information request. Well, Almost Park refuses to give out the police report. That's right. We have asked for it. They have refused to give it. Public information requests have been filed asking for it. They have asked the Attorney General's office to withhold the police report. We're not talking about something secret. We're not talking about things that they don't give out to the public. We all know if you walk in there and you ask for a police report, they just hand it to you. You pay 10 cents or whatever, and they hand it to you. I do that all the time and everywhere else. But when I go into Almost Park, what they say is you got to file a public information request. We have 10 days to give it to you. And then they turn around and they ask the Attorney General's office to withhold the police report, citing things like, oh, good Lord, they just throw everything at it. But the main thing they like to throw is that releasing the information would interfere with ongoing criminal investigations. That's what they like to say. And although the Attorney General's office sometimes does rule against that, for the most part, they just, I mean, I don't know if they read these things sometimes. One time the city of San Antonio asked to not give out information because the person subject to the report might be deceased. Because if the person is deceased, that certainly might be a legit reason to withhold the information. But, you know, I reminded them I'm very much alive. I'm the one requesting the report. But that's how ridiculous it gets. So I haven't been able to get it from Almost Park because they want to hold on to it. They don't want to give it out. They don't want me to have it or anybody else to have it. But I was able to read it today. And lo and behold, in the first couple of sentences, I realized why Almost Park does not want to give it out to the public. Are you ready for this? Because in the very beginning, Officer James Lopez writes, Miller was being detained for blocking a passageway, being arrested for blocking a passageway. The chief came out, saw me out there, or whatever, and then when the chief came up to me, he was arresting me for blocking the passageway. Now, I don't know if you've seen the video, but that's not what the police chief said. What the police chief said was, I'm detaining you for my safety. Not to mention that I was crossing that street. I never stopped. I only slowed down as he approached me because I didn't want to run into him. I intended on walking around, right? But nevertheless, the point is that the police report already, first few sentences, lies. And let me tell you, it is full of lies. If lies weighed an ounce, that report would weigh 100 pounds. It's bad. And we're going to get the report, and we're going to be able to release it to you. For now, you just have to take my word for it. Just full of lies. And when I saw that first few sentences, ding! I mean, I was thinking, why would Almost Park not release the police report? Why wouldn't they release the police report? Maybe they have something to hide. Surely that's not the case. I mean, they got me dead to rights, right? They got all the evidence they need, right? I mean, they say I assaulted a police officer. I injured a Blue Line gang member. I mean, big felony on T at Shipdog. Certainly they would want the world to know the facts, right? They know that when I get it, I'm going to put it out for the world to see. I mean, come on, guys. You got me. You got me allegedly assaulting a police officer. You got me, right? I mean, how many years in prison am I going to do? 100? 1,000 years? But you don't want the world to know what happened? Why is that? And guys, get in the comments and put down the reason you think Almost Park wants to keep that police report from the public. And while you're at it, why don't you ask for a police report for, let's say, any police reports they have are rescuing dogs out of trees or helping old ladies across the road, anything like that, and see if they give it to you. And then ask the question, well, why do you give me those reports but you don't give me these other reports? Anyway, just thought I would bring that to your attention. If you happen to think about representing yourself in court, you don't want to do that. So my injuries, my blue cheese olive, my injuries. So mostly all of my injuries were just basically soft tissue damage. My wrist, still painful, especially these two fingers here. I lost some feeling in them. And I got some pain when I do this. My knee got a little scraped up. My elbow got a little soft tissue damage in it. It's pretty much healed now. But it was very sore. That first day, I couldn't go like this. But I can do that now. Currently, I'm on 900 milligrams of gabapentin for the pain in my shoulder. That's the biggest injury. And I'm taking 900 milligrams of gabapentin, so I'm able to shake my Martini. Not a problem. Didn't hurt that, thank God. But I'm in a lot of pain. Without the gabapentin, it just really hurts. Now, I did have a previous injury. You guys have heard that before. And I was actually under doctor's care for the pain that had to do with the nerves in my C4, C5 vertebra when this incident happened, and it only aggravated it. And I do believe, I haven't been able to confirm yet, I'm still under doctor's care, and I've had one MRI done. I'm gonna go in and go get another one done with some contrast or something like that. I'm no doctor. I'm a GED graduate. But we'll see. As soon as I can update you guys as to the extent of any injuries almost park caused, I will let you know that. But that's the deal with my injuries. As far as lawsuits and criminal charges and stuff like that, what I can, I'm very limited on what I can say because of ongoing criminal and civil proceedings, right? We've all heard that, and it's no different with me. But I can tell you that I met with my civil attorney, Solomon Radner, last night, and we are working on it, guaranteed. And the criminal stuff, I met with my attorney today, and we're working on it. So thank you for your support. I really appreciate all the support. I received a ton of support, both financially and in person and over the internet and through letters and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Keep them coming. They mean a lot to me. They mean a lot to me. Even if all it is you can just write a letter, or you can make a comment on the video, or you can watch the video, watch the ads. If that's all you can do because you don't have a lot of money, I get it, but I appreciate that just as much as I appreciate the money. A special thanks to HBO Matt. Matt brought over some alcohol, which includes this vodka, day after all this happened. So thank you for that, Matt. And it wasn't the cheap stuff either. If you guys don't know who HBO Matt is, he just recently got a settlement from a police department somewhere here in the United States. $75,000, I think. I'm not sure. There was no NDA settlement, so he's able to talk about it. But he was detained, I think, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. The video's out there. Just type in HBO Matt detained, and you guys can watch that video and watch that situation. He was basically detained for filming, yeah, by an idiot. Cost his taxpayers $75,000. And so anyway, thank you, Matt, for the alcohol. Thank you guys for all the support and generous donations that you have given me so far. This stuff is not cheap. It's not cheap at all, and I have more expenses coming. So any other support that you can give me, I really appreciate it. At this point, I mean, I've spent, I don't know, I had to spend $300 to get my truck out of the impound, and they kept it an extra 2 days without telling me. It was only because I called down there that I found out it was released from hold. They had it on investigative hold for 16 days, something like that. And here's the thing, I wasn't even driving it that day. Somebody else was driving it, and they knew that, but they impounded it anyway. They took everything out of my truck, including my dash cameras, so I had to pay some more money for new dash cameras. And so, I mean, it's just, that's all they're trying to do. They're trying to create financial difficulty to get me to stop doing this. I'm not going to take too much more of your time. I'm going to enjoy my Dirty Martini. In the meantime, there's the Almost Park rally that's happening on Saturday, which is March 7th, I believe. And it's in... Okay, do you want to do the video, or you want me to do the video? You'll be happy to do the video? Yeah, come over here and do the video. Do the last part with Almost. No, come on.
What time is it?
Do the last part with Almost.
What time is it?
She doesn't want to be on camera, guys. But anyway, yeah, March 7th from 1 to 4 p.m. at Almost Park. It'll be at Howard Street and Agnes. Howard and Agnes, A-G-N-E-S. That's the intersection closest to where all the cars generally will be parked and where the assembly will be. Minus Almost Park coming out and playing games. From what I hear, they're not going to cower out this time. They're actually going to come out there and try to control the crowd. Even women are laughing at that. But we all know what's going to happen at the rally. Nothing. Nothing's going to happen at the rally. Let me tell you how this works.
Good turnout.
When one... Let me, please. Okay, she's excited about this.
I'm excited.
So basically, this is how it works. If one person shows up with a gun, they whoop that ass. If 100 or more people show up with the guns, they shut down their city and they go run and hide. Now, they're not going to run and hide this time because we called them out too much on that. So they're actually going to come out and try to do some real police work. But let me tell you what they're going to do. They're going to stand there and they're going to keep their mouths closed, and they're not going to do a damn thing. They're not going to do nothing. Some people are concerned, oh, if you step off the sidewalk, they're going to throw handcuffs on you. I don't think so. I don't think so, because I don't think they're that stupid. I don't think they're that stupid. What would be the point of handcuffing or detaining someone because they broke some minor stepping off the sidewalk or some minor infraction when you have the rally go, this is a few hundred people, maybe 1,000, I don't know, who knows. It's hard to tell how many people show up to these things, but bad PR, yeah, it's bad PR, but they don't care about, my wife says it's bad PR, but they don't care about PR. They care about stopping people from pointing cameras at them. And they're willing to do anything they can, including assaulting citizens, committing felonies, violating federal law, state law, and local law to get you to stop filming them. And to get you to stop doing other things that you have a right to do. If it's going to happen in their city and they don't like it, they're going to stop it. And they're willing to hurt you to get you to stop. They'll lie on police reports and lie on affidavits to get you to stop. But more importantly, they will hurt you, harm you, injure you for life to get you to stop. Who do you think is going to stop first? Do you think people who are exercising their rights are going to stop? Or do you think that they're going to stop? Put your answer in the comments below. You guys, until next time, stay safe, stay free. And also, police educator shirt. Y'all can see it here. Badge says good citizen. 38.02 is the badge number. If you guys don't know what that is, ask in the comments. Somebody will answer that. Badge number 3802. Police educator, not police officer. No, I'm not a police officer. I'm a police educator. I provide on-the-job training when needed. And then here's the back of the shirt. So if you guys could drop into Teespring, the link's down at the bottom, maybe get you a shirt or two, I'd appreciate that. All proceeds go to support what I do and keep me on the street. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share with all your friends. Thank you.